What's up everyone? Today we're here back on the lake. Today we're going to talk about Lakemaster chips, and we're going to talk about the different things you can do to help you catch more fish. So starting out, when I first get to the lake, the first thing that I'll do is I'll do the water level offset. And in order to do that, I'll show you here in a sec. Basically, I'll drive on a flat portion of the lake and I'll look at these numbers, and if it says 10 foot, I want the actual depth of the water to match that 10 foot on the Lakemaster. And I want those numbers to match so that I know that my actual card's reading the exact depth. So I'll use this to adjust the water level offset, and you'll see as you crank, if you crank that down, let's say this lake got 30 feet low, which it never will, it'll get rid of all that water. So like right now, we wouldn't even be in the water if it was 30 feet low. But I'm going to change that back to -3, which is what it is. The lake is 3 foot low from summer pool, and this will be accurate for the water level that it's at right now. The way a map card works is the closer and tighter these lines are together, these contour lines are, the steeper and deeper that bank will be. Whereas over here, we have a little bit of a flatter bank. You can also see right here is a little bit of a depth change. So we have a little bit of a shelf, and then it's real steep, real close to the bank. And then we have a little bit more of a flat back in here as we go. So here's an example of a really long point. And one thing to know that will help you guys catch fish is a lot of times these fish will get on these long points, especially right after they spawn. They'll come out from these little pockets and they'll get on these long points. It has a lot to do with erosion. So the wind or the water or like the old river channel will basically butt up against here. It'll basically erode a lot of this dirt and silt away, and you'll basically end up having the hard bottom portion of it that's left over. And so a lot of times whenever you get up on these longer points, they're going to be a lot harder. And anywhere like the river will bend like this, it's almost like an underwater bluff. And so stuff like that is good to look for. And it depends on obviously you'll need to know the time of the year and the fish behavior. If it's springtime, you're gonna wanna look back in here. If it's summer, you're gonna wanna look on these longer points. Another thing that I do whenever I catch a fish is I'll look at the map and see where I'm at in relation to that map. So, for example, if I'm in this cove here and I'm fishing down the bank and I don't get a single bite, and then I get to this steep part here, or this steep part here. A lot of times in the spring, they'll be on that last deep bank before it just flattens out to nothing. So like this bank right here could possibly be really good. If I do start getting bit on those last deeper banks before it gets shallow, I can just zoom out, look at this map, and find other areas that match that pattern. And you can do that a lot of times, not just for that pattern, but let's say you're fishing main lake points with shorter creeks. So you can look at this map and say, oh, there's a creek, there's there's another creek. So all these points, if they're biting on that, may be good. Right there, right there. Once you figure out a pattern, you can basically look at the map and you can run that pattern and find similar areas around the lake. And actually with the new VX chip that Lakemaster has, you can actually highlight some of these with the Smart Strike. You can basically filter through different areas that you're looking for and highlight those areas to basically let the mapping chip do the work for you. So another thing with these Lakemaster chips and the VX chip, you can actually highlight different ranges and more different ranges, but with this I can highlight a certain range as green, and I can also highlight, so I can highlight the shallow water and I can highlight the a range that I want. So let's say shallow water is, right now it's set on 10 feet, but let's say I want to set that at 2 or 3 feet. So now this red will change to just 2 or 3 feet. Let's say we're looking for fish in 5 to 15 feet. So this will basically give us that. It'll give us 10 feet plus or minus 5 feet. So if we zoom in here, we'll have that range of 5 to 15 feet. And so if I start catching fish in a certain range, what I'll do is I'll highlight that range and I'll go around the lake. And it works well like in the springtime when you're cranking. Let's say you want the boat in 10 foot of water, you can set that range and you can just follow that edge of that green with your trolling motor and just cover water as quick as you can, and you know that you're always in that depth range that you want. And that'll definitely help you catch more fish. Hopefully some of these tips helped you out. Lakemaster can be a really good tool. All the maps can be a really good tool. I really like Lakemaster just because of the shading that you can do and the accuracy of all the contour lines. But hopefully you guys learned a little bit along the way. Thanks guys for watching, and make sure you subscribe so you can see any other electronic videos or fishing videos or anything else that I post, and we'll see you guys next time.